Hey guys, it's the color of boom here. Today we're going to be going to the Shimal Archeological Site in Iraq, so close to home. I don't know anything about it at all. I just know that it's supposed to be the biggest or the largest pre-Islamic archaeological site in Iraq. So it's got something going for it. But in any case, I hope it's fun and we'll see you guys there. This is what it's like a huge area that's enclosed here, and it's mostly just stuff like this. There's a lot of goats, and then stuff like this, like there's little broken huts or a little grave, or like this, a little well or something. And I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it's interesting, but we're hoping that we can find this central area and it's not like closed off or something. The rest of all this stuff has just been kind of left around. There's like farms and stuff around here, and all the like little huts that we've seen and stuff have not been like very enclosed or very like taken care of. So we're hoping that there will be a central area that's a bit more plushed up or whatever. But anyways, either way, it's nice outside. I mean, it's still hot, but it's not as hot as it's been recently. Hopefully we'll be seeing this thing soon. It's just a tomb, and you can see that part there, right where I'm zoomed in on right now, is actually the doorway or the doorstep where you would go in, and the square part, I don't know if you can really make it out, but you can kind of see there's a square part, like the inner part is square, and that is the original part, and then you can see there's this outer part that's sort of ovalish, and that's another part that was added on, and then all around it you can see there's this like horseshoe almost of like rocks that have just been kind of ringed around it, and they say that that is much more recent. They just supposed to be the living area. I wouldn't really want to live here, but you know. Only the truly brave come into this land. Hey guys, how's it going? We just got back from the Shimal Archeological Site. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Shimal or Shimal.
doesn't really matter, that's not important. But before I start talking about how our trip there, I just wanted to say a couple things about the actual place. The site, or the archaeological site, is an archaeological dig of a settlement that used to, or an area that used to be a settling area for people there, and it's apparently from the third millennium BC, so it's like really old, and it's this huge area that's been fenced off and has been designated for the archaeological dig. But that actual area has been settled a lot over the years. Apparently, it's been like lived in for over 4,000 years, according to their website. So that's a long time. And so settlements have been made and abandoned, and there's a few other finds that they've gotten there. But what is included in the video is the oldest ones from the 3rd millennium BC, like I said. The oldest one that they found, at least. So, this, like I said, this huge area, it's fenced off, but it's not closed at all. It's completely open. And in fact, even the area that's fenced in, like where this site is supposed to be, and again, it's really big, in the area where they weren't digging, there's still like people living there, and there's like farms and stuff. So it's not at all like a official site that no one, you gotta be very careful or whatever. It's completely open. It's like they dug there and they did whatever and took whatever and all that, found out whatever they needed to find out. Oh my god, excuse me. And then left. And that was it. So when you go in there, a lot of the stuff is kind of falling apart. But there's not that much to look at. You have to find the central areas. There's lots of, and I think you may have seen one of them or two of them in the video, and if you didn't, then you can look at my blog, because I'm sure I took pictures of these like they look like little huts that are crumbling down, but apparently they're supposed to be tombs, and you'll see them all around, kind of just here and there scattered, and they say that this whole area is supposed to be a cemetery. And I don't know I don't see how such a huge area could be a cemetery, but maybe it's like the whole area is just a place where they used to bury people. So that's why you see little bits of rubble here and there. Apparently all of those are just separate tombs. But the main attractions are these like bigger things that have been built. And so they're like circular. And they're one thing that's the main attraction. I'll get on to the other stuff. But those are the first things that we saw. They're these circular things. They're medium, almost large. They're moderately big. And they're apparently circular tombs. And they've got like bricks like going all across or whatever, cutting them up, sectioning them into different spots where people would be buried into their individual areas. And they say that it would have been for probably like families or maybe even a clan or whatever to be buried. And they apparently, when they dug it up, they found like there's two of these like circle things. There's one like on the southern side, I think, and then one across the road from it, so they're kind of close to each other. And in one of them, the most that they found in one of them was 8 remains, the remains of 8 people, 8 different people. So it maybe was just for families. But they also found lots of like spears and beads and pottery and stuff like that. So they're sure that it was like a burial thing. But putting those aside, the main thing that they talk about a lot in this article that we read about it is this weird, like it's a tomb, but at the same time it's sort of like a sacrificial area, or it's like a religious area almost. So it's like, and you'll see it in the video, it's just this square area. It's this square thing that they built, and I showed in the video, I mentioned that there's a doorway, or where the doorway used to be, so you can imagine it was like a proper building of brick or whatever. And apparently not only were people buried there, but maybe they would have done prayers or whatever. And then after that, it was encircled by an oval thing that apparently was just to add to it. And apparently it's got like a slab there that they would do sacrifices on. I did not really notice anything obvious like that for sacrificing, but I'm sure they're not lying. It must be somewhere around there and we just missed it. But then around that, and apparently much later, those two things are pretty old, but later then there was this like horseshoe of bricks built like laid around it, and they don't know if that was supposed to be built as like a wall or something. They just found the bricks like that. Maybe just some kid messing around or whatever. But in any case, then just a little ways down from that, not very far at all, like 2 or 3 minutes walking distance, they have like a living area, or what was supposed to be a living area. So it's like, and again you'll see it in the video, there's like a place for a room, there's a well, there's 2 or 3 rooms, and it's like just under this big triangular outcrop that apparently they would have used to like look out and over, you know, places and stuff like that or whatever. So all around it was pretty cool. I liked the place. It's not much to look at, but I find like I've mentioned many times before, I really like history, so it was interesting for me. If you're going to go see it, I would suggest that you have something else that you want to do with it. But in any case, if you want to see more pictures and if you want more information about it and something like that, you should look at my blog, which the link is in the description for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.